Morning.
Morning.
Oh, come on.
Morning. Good morning.
First, I want to acknowledge the members who are here. Congressman Lauria, and thank you so much for helping organize this today, and Congressman Norcross, Congressman Vargas, and Congressman Phillips. A lot of members, as you know how these things work, we kept trying to find a time, but so many members couldn't make it this morning because of committee hearings. Several are chairing committees, but we tried our best to make sure that they will get in the release, so you'll have their quotes later today. They asked us all to make sure that we pass that along. Lainey, you want to tell who's unable to make it?
Yes, well, thank you again for attending today, and other than those of us standing on the stage and discussing this issue today, we're joined by quite a few of our colleagues who find this to be a very important concern and will be joining us as far as our statement and release. So Congressman Jerry Golden from Maine, Congressman Vincente Gonzalez from Texas, Congressman Grace Ming from New York, as well as Haley Stevens from Michigan, Tom Suozzi from New York, Brendan Bull from Pennsylvania, Darren Soto from Florida, Val Demings from Florida, Jem Costa from California, Lois Frankel from Florida, Kathy Manning from North Carolina, Chantel Brown from Ohio, and last but not least, Susie Lee as well from Nevada. So as you can see, there's quite a few members in the Democratic caucus who are very concerned about the direction of the negotiations that we understand are proceeding, and wanted to take this opportunity to discuss some of our concerns. Leave it to Josh to go out of the speaking room.
Oh, sorry, I'll go then.
No, it's fine. I can go, and I would say that I speak for myself, and as a group we have a variety of concerns, everywhere from concern about the negotiations all the way to on the spectrum of outright opposition to re-entering the deal, and the opinion that we did not support the original deal. Some of our members, speaking today, were in Congress and had the opportunity to take that vote in 2015 when the original deal was passed. So we understand that while the recent negotiations have not concluded, we feel that we can't stay quiet about the unacceptable and deeply troubling turn that these talks have reportedly taken. I've had the opportunity to speak recently to the Israeli ambassador to the U.S., Ambassador Herzog, and his direct quote was that this agreement places Iran and Israel on a collision course. So we find that a very concerning assessment of the situation, and many national security leaders were concerned about the 2015 JCPOA, and Iran's behavior since entering the deal only validates those concerns. Not even a year and a half ago, the IAEA director noted there are more centrifuges, there's more activity, and there is more nuclear material. So as a result of the deal, we've seen that it has not achieved its initial objectives. I sit on the House Armed Services Committee as the vice chair. Recently, I had the opportunity to question General Kenneth McKenzie, who's the commander of U.S. Central Command, before the committee, and I focused in on the Iranian threat. He basically said over the last 5 to 7 years, the threats from Iran have worsened with a dramatic increase in Iran's ballistic missile, land attack cruise missile, and drone capabilities. And then went on to say, well, you've said 5 to 7 years. Let's do some math on what roughly is the time frame. Essentially, he indicated that all of those threats from Iran have worsened exactly within the time frame of when the original Iran deal, JCPOA, was authorized. Iran is dangerously close to obtaining nuclear weapons capability, and they show no end in sight to their pursuit of a nuclear weapon. I believe that this shows clear evidence that the old JCPOA did not work, and that any new deal that does not wholly prevent Iran from ever acquiring a nuclear weapon is unacceptable. I have serious concerns about reports that negotiators in Vienna are discussing the lifting of sanctions designed not just to address Iran's illegal nuclear activities, but even those addressing its state sponsorship of terrorism. I believe it's completely unacceptable that that it would be considered as part of this negotiation to lift Iran's Foreign Terrorist Organization (FTO) designation on the IRGC, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. It's completely unacceptable to eliminate sanctions on the leadership of the Iranian regime, which has perpetuated terrorist attacks around the world, targeted its own people, and has sought to destabilize the Middle East. The JCPOA that's currently being negotiated will provide Iran with more resources to do exactly these things, and those resources will be used to attack the U.S., its partners, Israel, and to fund the proxy organizations, Hamas, Hezbollah, Houthis, and others who have made the Middle East less safe. And as we saw recently, that Iran took credit for a missile attack that struck near Erbil in Iraq, very close to the U.S. consulate. So just to wrap up, I think that all the things I've laid out show why we should not be taking steps that will embolden Iran's extremist leadership and provide them with more resources. And history has proven that those resources will be used to further their violent and dangerous agendas. So in summary, I think that we cannot afford another failed agreement, and I will turn it over to Representative Josh Gottheimer from New Jersey, and he will continue to outlay some of the issues that we individually feel are concerns with the ongoing negotiations.